This morning's Breakfast Bible Bytes brings us to the conclusion of Psalm 71 in verse 24. It is a psalm of faith, praise, and adoration for Jehovah. Verse 24 of 71 reads, "My tongue will utter your righteousness all day long, for they are ashamed, for they are humiliated who seek my hurt." Concluding this psalm with a final volley of praise, the psalmist, who was most probably David, reflects on his life. He sees no reason why his thoughts shouldn't continually rest on the goodness, mercy, and righteousness of Jehovah. Both in meditation and in his daily encounter with others, the goodness of God always occupies his mind, even as he reflects on all of the past events of his life and the personal lessons that God has taught him on the roller coaster of his past trials, temptations, and relapses. Elohim was building him into a godly specimen of a man, designed by his Creator as an illustration for God-fearing men, and a living prophecy that lives up to God's expectations. David has become a generational example of God's focused righteousness for Christians of our own day to learn from. He will openly praise and worship his God without fault and remains totally committed to him even when it may not be expedient for him to do so, and even though people may reject him because of his singleness of thought, as the godless inevitably will do. He will find in his stance, knowing that in the end it will be them that will be ashamed and humiliated, for surely such speech signifies the fullness of a believer's heart. The language that passes over the believer's tongue is that which is naturally flowing out of a full soul. The psalm, like so many of the other psalms, begins with a prayer on a low note of pleading, problems, and despair, and ends with shouts of joy and triumph. A quick note before we move on to Psalm 72. Over the past Christmas season, I messed up and forgot to begin again at Psalm 69, where we left off before Thanksgiving. This is an important psalm, and what I write is original, and unless otherwise noted, it will become part of the larger book that I am compiling about the gospel of Christ as he is revealed in the Psalms. Therefore, we'll take a short hiatus while I try and compile the lost segments. Over the next couple of Breakfast Bible Bytes, we will review the gospel as it is found in the New Testament.